let's dive into one of the most fascinating and, honestly, kind of spooky corners of the crypto world. It's digital ghost towns.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. It's like you're a digital archaeologist, right? But instead of digging through dirt, you're sifting through old code and forgotten transactions, stumbling across a world that's literally frozen in time. So what would you even find in a place like that?
Well, you'd probably find a forgotten token, a name that was once buzzing with hype, with all these promises of changing the world, but now it's completely silent.
And with it, you'd find its silent community. Maybe an old Discord server where the last message was sent, I don't know, years ago. It's like finding a digital cobweb on the screen.
And then, of course, you'd find the charts. Just a flat line, stretching on for months, maybe even years. The whole project is just still, kind of frozen in digital amber. Okay, so that's the scene. In this first section, we're going to dig into what these digital ghost towns actually are, how do they happen, and what are the strange, silent stories they're waiting to tell us.
Right, so a digital ghost town, it's not just any failed project. It's a very specific kind of ruin. It's a place where the community has totally vanished, all that initial excitement has just evaporated. The only thing left? The blockchain itself. A perfect, silent memory of what used to be.
So how does a bustling digital city turn into a ghost town? I mean, where does it all go wrong? That's what we're looking at next, the classic boom and bust cycle. Because trust me, every ghost town was once a boom town.
Yeah, every single one of these projects had its golden season. And this was a time of just pure potential. The chats were buzzing, the devs were making these huge, bold promises about changing the world, and investors were dreaming big. It really felt like destiny. But then, the silence sets in. That energy just fades and the whole project kind of dissolves into nothing.
And this chart, it shows you that golden season perfectly. Just look at that activity. Trades are firing off left and right, the chat channels are just overflowing, and the developers are constantly pushing new code. The town is absolutely humming with life.
So what happens? Why does the music suddenly stop? Well, it's usually some combination of these things. Sometimes the founding team literally just vanishes. Poof, gone. Other times, the hype that fueled the whole thing just dries up. Or, maybe the community just gets bored and moves on to the next shiny new thing.
And this is the result. Just compare this chart to the last one. It's night and day. Everything, the trades, the chats, the dev activity, it all just plummets to basically zero. Block by block, the silence takes over. The town is officially empty.
But here's where the story gets really, really interesting. Unlike a real ghost town in the desert that, crumbles and rots away, these digital ruins are different. They're perfectly preserved.
And what's preserved can be absolutely staggering. We're talking millions of dollars. In some of these dead projects, there are wallets just sitting there holding millions in tokens, totally untouched for years. Yeah, these aren't just empty shells. They are legitimate digital mysteries. You've got fortunes locked away behind forgotten keys, founders who just disappeared without a word, and get this, in some cases, the blockchain itself is still running, silently processing empty blocks with absolutely no one left to use it, just locked code and empty chains, waiting.
And this right here, this is the core idea. This is what makes these places so wild. A wooden shack in the Old West, it's going to fall apart. But an entry on a blockchain, it's immutable. It doesn't decay, it doesn't rust, it doesn't collapse into dust. It just waits. And because they just wait, these ghost towns don't always stay dead. It's crazy, but sometimes, years later, a whole new community will stumble upon an old, abandoned project and just decide to rebuild it. The code is still there, the chain might still be running, so a forgotten altcoin can actually be brought back to life.
Okay, so what's the big takeaway here? Why should we even bother studying these digital ruins? What can we really learn from the ghosts of crypto past?
Well, it really boils down to three huge lessons. First, every single project, no matter how hyped, has a life cycle. It's just a fact. Second, and this is a big one, the blockchain remembers everything. Nothing you put on-chain is ever truly gone. And third, all of this is just a powerful reminder of how incredibly early we are in all of this. This is digital history being written in real time.
And that brings us to a really fascinating thought.
Decades from now, digital historians are going to look back on our era the same way we look at, say, the gold rush. They'll study the boom towns, the ghost towns, the huge successes, and the spectacular failures, and it's all going to be perfectly preserved on-chain for them to analyze.
So that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The ghost town we ignore today, the one that's silent, forgotten, it could hold the seeds of the next big thing. Because in the world of crypto, nothing is ever truly gone. It's just waiting to be rediscovered. The only question is, which one will it be?